We've all had a time when we've questioned that thing or that person in whom we've placed our hope. We've all had times when life has chipped away at hope and left us wondering about what our futures will hold. The massive wildfire that destroyed 2,400 homes and many other structures in the community of Fort McMurray, Alberta, has left many people asking, what reason do any of us have to be hopeful? This Canadian oil sand town that once had such high hopes had already seen some of that hope evaporate in the face of deteriorating demand for oil that left the economy damaged. Their question can be repeated all around the world where raging fires of war, oppression, random violence, and economic slowdowns burn away what remains of hope. Perhaps for many living in the aftermath of the Fort McMurray fire, the encouragement to have hope, to not give in to despair or to not be afraid evokes images of ostriches with their heads in the sand as the world collapses around them. We have many, many reasons to feel afraid, largely because we feel we have so much to lose. Do not be afraid echoes in our heads, and we wonder how to live courageously in a world filled with all kinds of wildfires that would seek to claim that which is near and dear to us. While there are no explicit references to hope in the teaching of Jesus, he encouraged his followers to not be anxious, but to trust in and have hope in the God who would be trusted even in the face of our anxieties. Hope, contrary to what many of us might believe, is not the absence of fear, but often arises in the midst of fear. It is both that which anchors us in the midst of the storm and that which compels us to move forward, however ploddingly, towards goals, others, and the God whom the Apostle Paul named the God of all hope in his letter to the Romans. This kind of hope is much more than wishful thinking. It is a desperate clinging to the God who is mysterious and of whom we don't have control. There is a mystery in hope because we don't know how God will intervene. Although many homes were lost in Fort McMurray, many more were spared, including the downtown, and now the community is working together to bring new life from the ashes of that fire. Yet in the midst of the charred rubble, what new thing is coming has to be seen with the eyes of hope. Our lives are often this way. We hope in what can be, even though we can't see it yet. In the midst of charred remains, we can experience disorientation because what was normal is now gone. The future is still ahead, unseen and unknown. But hope longs to hold us and to ground us in the midst of our fears. Hope is like a broad place, the Hebrew psalmist once wrote. And though we mourn for those who lost everything in this fire, the God of hope is at work, raising the dead to life. This is the God that Jesus believed in. Jesus didn't try to cover reality with wishful thinking. He told people that in this world they would experience trouble. But he also extended hope. Hope based on a God who can bring what is dead to life, which means that in whatever circumstances we find ourselves, loss, disappointment, even death, there is hope. Chances are that's the kind of hope you're looking for.